it is for those who write, and this Nomad is for those who write on their travels. We're going to compare it to the older A6X. Now I've got the A6X on the right hand side. Incidentally, there was nothing wrong with the A6X at all. There is a difference with that screen feel. A lot of people yeah, absolutely are quite into that smoother writing feel and wondering about what is the difference there and whether it's worth making that upgrade. We'll do the compulsory, it seems, little sound test. Incidentally, I've got all three of the different pens you can currently get. Somewhere I've got the first Heart of Metal as well. This is the current standard pen now. The standard pen is this clicky pen, but they all have the same nibs, so they're all going to sound the same. And it will show you how it is. It just feels much smoother. If I bring this right into the shot here, you can hopefully see there is better clarity on this screen. This is the previous screen, the A6X screen, than there is on the newer screen. But flipping lovely screen, right? And the more I use it, the more I get used to it. It's great. So this clicky pen is the new standard one. There was nothing wrong with the old standard one. I really like the old standard one, incidentally. It's really, really nice. I like the way that these work like this. And I like the way it's on this clicky pen. I like the way you're protecting the nib. You're doing that. But the real gold standard is still the Heart of Metal pen. But any Wacom stylus will work on here. So if you have either, you could go for a Remarkable one. And I am thinking in a way that this might work really well. This might be a better feel than the ceramic nib for Atelier. Make myself a new Atelier drawing to scribble about on a bit. I want to scribble on my lovely boy's drawing that I made there, the scribbles. And Atelier is coming to the other devices. It's in beta. So if you're a beta user, you can already experience that. But I think using the kind of Wacom felt might make more sense. I'm seeing that and the ceramic. You can hear there's a slight difference there. It's almost more like, because you're sort of imitating pencil with this, it just makes sense to use a marker which is more like a sort of pencil feel and pencil kind of style as well. The brush feel, I think, as well. And the whole shape of the thing as well. So that's the screen feel. What about getting around the device? How quick is that? Let's have a little go. Yeah, I think that was slightly faster actually here, wasn't it? I'll go to Files, look. Back again, about the same that time. Go to the Kindle app. Seems like it's a little bit slower on this one. Somebody asked about this sluggishness. Didn't find it slow. I read quite happily on here. And I think the page turn animation is still on here, but I must have turned it off on the previous one. So you do want to turn off the page turn animation. But bring in the Kindle itself just at this point. Yeah, okay, it is a bit quicker on the real Kindle, but you know, nothing that's going to really cause you any displeasure, I think, whilst reading. So getting about no major differences there. And what about the writing response as well? So let's just do that. That's the first stroke wake up. So it goes into this kind of sort of semi-sleep mode for the first stroke when you haven't done any writing for a while. I think this is ever so slightly faster, but not by much. I think there'll be a couple of milliseconds in it. I think this will be a few milliseconds faster. I don't think this is getting to the lightning speeds of Note F3C or the Kindle Scribe or anything like that, but I think that this is a slight improvement over the previous, but no big issues there. So we talked about the press area on the smaller screen, and Jeffrey Moss's videos are excellent, by the way. He's done lots of good videos on the Supernote A6X2, and he's done some comparisons as well. And he talked about there being an issue with like striking the buttons every time. You'll see that was slightly slower here. And I think that might be due to the size. I think that might be due to this user interface is obviously pretty much identical. And I think that the issue with sometimes missing a press, I've done it here, is probably, no, that's now taken 3 or 4, yeah, see, is probably because of the size of the screen. I think the area that you actually have to strike is the same in terms of the number of pixels or whatever, or generally the sort of relative screen size, if that makes sense. So that makes the actual area you need to hit on this one smaller than the area you need to hit on this. So I think they probably, for that like sign there for keywords, for instance, they probably made a little area that you have to hit, and they've used this same area. But on this, I think it needs to be a bigger active area for that button, if you like. That's what I think the issue might be there. I think it's really interesting. That's not worked out, they will see that feedback, I'm absolutely certain, and they will make efforts to make that better if possible. It is the case that sometimes I pressed it once or twice on here, and then you switch to using the stylus, and you can hit it reliably every single time with the stylus, because you are able to just hit that smaller zone that much more easily than with your finger. That's that. So just be prepared to use the stylus more often if you do that as well. And this is there a web browser? I don't think, does anyone know the answer to this? Because I don't think you can get to a web browser just to go straight on the web. But what you can do is you can make a link to the web, and then you're on the web. And now from here, I can't actually edit this and pick things, but I can follow the links. So this is a bit of a strange one. And if you look here, I can actually even go as far as to make myself a link for Google, click my link to Google, and now I can search whatever I want. For instance, if I want to know what these Miffy books are all about, is somebody trolling me or not? So yes, there is a browser on here. I don't know why they haven't given you the access to it. There it is. So it's called Android Web Viewer, built-in browser with very few features, and a version of it because they don't keep it updated. Right, interesting. So you couldn't, I guess, log in here. It's just the very simplest browser there. Thank you for that.